was in that state of mind of wanting to die, I was just like, I was thinking, I can't do this anymore. I can't go through another depressive episode. I just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. That's why I tried to kill myself.
You're listening to the latest dose of Bipolar Recorder. This podcast may cause dizziness and blurred vision. Enjoy.
Welcome back to Bipolar Recorder. My name's Hunter Keegan. Thanks for joining me. For today's installment of the podcast, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, Palina. Palina is a popular Twitter Space host who lives with bipolar disorder type 1 and has facilitated hundreds of conversations about mental health over the last year and a half. About 2 weeks ago, Palina experienced a psychotic break and attempted to take her own life. On this important installment of the show, Palina discusses calling the 988 National Mental Health Crisis Hotline and how she received emergency treatment to survive her suicide attempt. As far as content warnings go, needless to say, this discussion focuses heavily on suicide. It doesn't get graphic, but the subject matter may be disturbing to some listeners. Okay, we're back with Palina. Palina, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm here. I'm surviving.
Yeah,
I wish I could say that I'm okay, but it's like, yeah. Hmm.
it's kind of rough. Do you want to tell the audience what condition you live with?
Yeah, bipolar one mixed episodes.
Yeah, and so what does the mixed episode specifier mean? Can you explain it?
Well, mixed episodes, okay, so people think of bipolar as mania or depression or one or the other. But I can experience both depressive symptoms plus manic episodes at the same time. So I will have feelings of worthlessness, tired. At the same time, I could feel energized or, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds very paradoxical because you've got the symptoms of elevated mood, which again doesn't always mean happy mood. It can also mean like anxiety or stress or
Yeah.
dysphoria. So you can have that type of elevation, and then you can also have like depressive symptoms creeping in too. When you're having a mixed state, do you ever have like I don't want to say positive symptoms of mania, but do you feel euphoria as well, or is it more of the dysphoric mania?
Well, I've learned now that when I'm having an episode, it usually starts with hypomania. So that's when I experience the euphoria, uh, the feelings, like going outside. I didn't even know what euphoria was. I don't know what happiness was until I really paid attention. It's like euphoria is like, for me, it's feeling like I'm in love, but not, I don't have anyone in my life that I'm even like dating. So it's like that natural high when you first meet someone. Um, that's what euphoria feels like. And so it starts with hypomania, and then I tend to like I'll be more. When I'm having a missed episode, it would be more like either more depressive or more like on the manic side. I tend to spend longer time in the depressive episodes. Like my depressive episodes can last months at a time, or
Mhm.
close to like a year. And then now with manic episodes, they're maybe like they are about 5 to 7 days long, 2 weeks at the most.
Hmm. So how old were you when you were diagnosed?
It was like 32. It was 2015 was when I was officially diagnosed with bipolar. And
Yeah.
I'd been diagnosed with major depressive disorder up in like before then, but when I first started feeling like something wasn't right, like something was wrong, I would say probably like 18, like I would say like early like early adulthood, like 18 to 20 years old. I just felt really off. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't just depression, but I would feel like I needed to do something dangerous. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. And I just really wanted to know like what was going on.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so I had my first psych evaluation when I was 19. I was homeless, and it was like a really quick psych evaluation. It was a lot of questions about like my situation, and and my so she diagnosed me with, she was like, you're acutely depressed and it's situational. Um, yeah, I'm also Asian too, and so she's like, some of it was blamed on my culture, going like,
Hmm.
"Oh, well, your people are just like, you're just like quiet, or it's like it's more suppressive." It's like, like it's yeah. Some of it was blamed on um my culture. It's just a way of life. You're just like really depressed because of the way that you're living and having a traumatic, and like I didn't have a good childhood, so that a lot of it was on that too.
Do you agree that the culture had something to do with it?
No, I think that like, I mean, bipolar is very, it's genetic. It's like my dad, I think, was undiagnosed, but he's died. But the first time he tried to kill himself, I was 13, and I had an aunt that killed herself as well. And I think that was also bipolar.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think I was misdiagnosed because a lot of it was like just blamed on, oh, the culture is just different. You guys are oppressed. Um,
When you were experiencing homelessness and you first got that diagnosis and those resources were accessed, how did that play out? Like, how did that come to be? Did you reach out to like a local shelter, or was there some sort of other intervention?
well, I mean, I was depressed a lot, couldn't hold a job, so I didn't like wasn't able to stay at home because there's a lot of abuse there too. So that's how I ended up homeless. I just didn't have like the energy to even get out of bed. I was just like a zombie basically, just being on the bus, crying constantly. Uh, that's why I think I ended up homeless. And then after that, seeing that psychiatrist when I was 19, she wrote me a prescription for Prozac, which I never took because I was very like anti medicine, especially psych medicines. I was like, because I heard a lot of people say that like that doesn't work or there's no such thing as mental illness. My family, particularly, it doesn't exist. There's no word for mental illness or mental health either. Just anyone that's different, suffering from depression, they would just call them crazy.
Yeah. So, in terms of what's been going on recently, you were recently hospitalized just a couple of weeks ago, maybe even less than a couple of weeks ago. I know that you made a decision one night to call the 988 number, and I just wanted to ask what encouraged you to connect with that resource? The 988 number, for people who don't know, is a national mental health crisis hotline in the United States.
Well, I mean, before I made a suicide attempt, 2 weeks before that, I was manic. So I think that had contributed to that. And I hadn't been taking care of myself. And yeah, that day it was just like something that happened, but it wasn't, so it wasn't, even like sometimes with the episodes, nothing triggers it really. It just comes out, it creeps up from nowhere. And
Yeah.
this time, that something does happen, but it shouldn't, reaction shouldn't have been, I'm going to kill myself. But yeah, I think not being in a right state of mind, I think I was in psychosis when he decided to overdose. And then when I called 988, I was wanting to I was felt myself slipping away. I was like really drowsy. I was like about to fall asleep. I just want to hear like one like a voice basically before. I mean, that's why I called. And I've called other times as well where I was just, talking to somebody. You know, I didn't she asked me if I had harmed myself or was trying to, harm myself. I lied. I said no. And then she heard me vomiting and she called 911. So it was like a three-way call. And I was just compliant, just telling them what I did. It's like
Mm-hmm.
really, um, yeah. And it was really quick. She stayed on the phone with me. The EMS showed up within probably like in 5 minutes because I didn't have time to like get anything other than like because they were telling me on the phone to like get my medications and whatever, but she just stayed on the phone with me to make sure I didn't fall asleep. She was just like, stay on the phone with me, don't go to sleep. And she was like, making sure like she didn't hang up until she heard EMS there. And then she told me she was going to call back later to check up on me again, which she did, but she left a voicemail, so I didn't have access to my phone.
Did you feel like the 988 operator was well trained?
Yeah, she was. Because at first when she was talking to me before even, before she heard me vomiting, she was like asking me why, kind of like, oh, what was the reason for the call? I was telling her, I was talking to her like I was my friend. Like she was talking to me like she was my friend. She's like, oh, yeah, that's really tough.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, she seems real well trained.
So after you arrived to the hospital in the state that you were residing in at the time, what was the intake process there like?
Yeah, well, a police officer, I mean, he did the first intake and I was kind of confused with that. He was just asking me what I took and what I have and like what mental illness I have.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's it. And then after that, I was like really depressed and I was just like vomiting, crying. And the nurse was actually really helpful because I mean, that's a different experience that I've had in a different state that I was in. Because I mean, anytime the other times where I've been in the emergency room with anxiety, not even with a suicide attempt or anything, but just trying to get help with bipolar, I was treated like I was a criminal.
Yeah.
And it was like, one time I spent like 16 hours sleeping on the floor just waiting for a bed. Um, yeah, they're not very kind people. That just like people are like, why don't you take your meds and like being mean to me or like yeah, I was just going like, this is the only medication you're gonna get today. And yeah, it was a different experience this time, being in a different state, which was really surprising because it's a southern state. The emergency room nurse was really nice too. I was just like crying because it's like really disappointed that I was alive. Um, yeah, I think I was still in a psychosis at that moment too, when I was still feeling suicidal after being in the hospital too. I slept for the first 2 days. And then, yeah, when I woke up, it was just like, yeah, I was there for 6 days and it was helpful. The
Right.
added medications for me, because I've been only on a stabilizer. So I saw a resident in the psychiatry unit because there was actually no psychiatry unit on that in the hospital. I stayed on the surgery floor. But they did have a psychiatry or psychiatrist that was on site. I spoke to her for a little bit on the third day, just
Mm-hmm.
asking questions about my history with bipolar and my episodes, and
So they
yeah,
they had you in a in like a regular hospital room because the hospital didn't have a dedicated psychiatric wing.
right, and I had a room sitter at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Did you talk to the room sitter at all?
I did with one. I did speak to her for like we did talk a lot because you know she was asking me about my family, my history and stuff, and then she was sharing some personal things and said that she like whispered it. She was like, "I tried to kill myself before too," So it's like, yeah, I had a nice long conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the other ones I was kind of like, no, there I did have one nurse tell me to stop crying. She was like, she was crying's not good for you. I was
What?
like, yeah, I didn't get offended or anything because I'm like, okay, I just like it's just a difference of opinions. I was telling her actually crying for me helps me. I need to get it out because I have a hard time crying. But yeah, it feels good now to cry and let it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with crying. I think especially when you're in a really intense situation like that, for someone to say, "Hey, stop crying," or "That's not helpful." It's like, who are you?
Yeah, I just there's no use in getting mad or anything. I I explained to her that for me, it helps me. Like, because I don't cry that often and I just need to let it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's as good a time as any to kind of let it out and,
Mhm.
experience that catharsis. So, what type
Yeah.
of treatment did you receive there if there wasn't a psychiatric unit in the hospital, and you're in a regular room, again, with a room sitter who I guess is there to make sure that you don't try to harm yourself or do anything
Mhm.
unseemly? What type of care did you receive?
Yeah, they were monitoring my heart to make sure I didn't pass away because what I did is it would have been a long, drawn out death. So it was not fun. They were monitoring my blood levels. So they're making sure that my blood level was okay, that it wasn't toxic anymore. Before getting discharged, they added an antipsychotic and an antidepressant to my medications, which helped because I was like not no longer having suicidal ideations. It kind of like woke me up a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I felt like more clear minded by the sixth day. I'm really glad like I got discharged on the sixth day too because I was like really tired of getting my blood drawn. I was like, I've had it. I'm like, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to try this again. It was very painful. I felt like I was not good on my body. Like I felt like I was being abusive towards my own body.
Mhm.
Like that.
You sent me photographs of all of the like poke marks where they had injected the needles,
Mhm.
and that did not look fun.
Oh, that's just one arm. I didn't show you the other arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 8 times a day, just get my blood drawn. I'm like, I have a high pain tolerance too, because like, but that was a lot. I was thinking about my father a lot, who has like diabetes, and he would be in the hospital for 2 weeks at a time. He would come home with like bruised hands too, like I did.
Hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Was there anything that specifically surprised you or maybe caught you a little bit off guard in either a positive or negative way with this hospitalization experience?
Well, I mean, the positive, I was really surprised at how much they listened to me and what I wanted. Because I told them I don't want to go to inpatient. They're talking about transferring me to to like a psychiatry unit to recover. And I was like, I really don't want to, I want to have access to my phone. I'm gonna be like, because when I'm on a depressive episode right now, and to get me out of it, I have to be active and to keep myself busy. And then being an inpatient is like all I have is time to ruminate and think about things. I'm like, it wouldn't be good for me.
Yeah, and that would kind of be the difference between like a regular hospitalization and a psych hospitalization, right? Like most
Mhm.
psychiatric units, they don't allow cell phones or electronics. It's much more constrictive. So I'm glad that in this case that's not what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I got utensils a couple times. That was fun.
Utensils.
Yeah, utensils. I mean, it was a very bare room. There's no shower curtain. It was like I didn't have utensils when I was eating. I had to eat with hands because I could stab myself.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they
Okay.
were making sure that it was like the room was safe. It was very bare.
They couldn't give you like like a really soft spoon or something to like
Nah, because you can use like it was a weapon.
what kind of food did
Same
they
with
have
the.
there?
Oh my gosh, it was not good. Like I didn't have an appetite either. I just was eating just like to put something in my body so I could get discharged, quicker. And
Yeah.
it was like prison food.
I was just thinking, like, if they're gonna require you to eat it with your hands, they should give you like tacos or like other finger foods.
Oh yeah, one dinner there was like beans, it was all soupy stuff. I was like, why I was supposed to eat this? I didn't even eat dinner. I just skipped it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So with all this that has happened, you were at the area in the country where you were hospitalized in, and how are you doing now since you've been out for about a week now and you're
Mhm.
kind of recalibrating? How would you say you're doing like today?
Yeah, like a 1 out of 10 out of as far as mood. I mean, my mood's probably like at a one today. So I'm in a depressed episode. I know this is gonna last for months, but I'm I know like I gotta keep myself up and not oversleep. I'm sleeping a lot. You know, it's just like sleep like frying about 3 times a day. Uh, but I know it's gonna get better. Like I'm like really sad right now. Like it hurts. Like my heart like hurts right now. However, I'm like optimistic because I know that this is another episode and I'm gonna go in remission again. Um, I learned that I'm a whole lot stronger than I thought I was because when I was in that state of mind of wanting to die, I was just like I was thinking I can't do this anymore. I can't go through another depressive episode. I just like I can't do it. I can't do it. That's why I tried to kill myself. And now
Hmm.
that I did, uh, and I'm here, and I realize, yeah, that I do want to live. And I didn't think that anyone would care either. But I mean, I didn't do it for attention. But I didn't realize how much people cared about me. I feel like I hurt them. I didn't want to do this again.
Hmm.
You know, I had people like friends too that died by suicide. I can understand it why, you know, if you're in that much pain. However, it still hurts. And I don't want to do that to other people that I care about.
Right.
Like you. Yeah. I don't want to do that to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know that a couple of people had reached out to me and let me know that you were hospitalized, but they didn't really say why. And I was obviously concerned, so I messaged you on Twitter, and yeah, I was just glad that you were still there and that you were still even able to respond. I know obviously when I sent you that message, you were probably not in a very good place, but I appreciated you just responding to let me know that you had seen it. And yeah, I mean, you're a pillar of the Twitter mental health community. Like you have spaces, you're pretty well known within our community. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
when people saw you tweeting about just very, very general tweets about like, hey guys, like I'm in the hospital, I'm okay. Like I did notice that there was a lot of engagement with those. A lot of people were commenting, just signs of support. So yeah, I know that we all care about you a lot, and we're all
Mm-hmm.
super happy that you're still with us.
Yeah, my natural instinct is to hide. I really wanted like, you know, hide and go away and disappear, not tell anybody what I did. Wherever it's like there there's meaning to this. I think it happened for a reason, and where I'm trying to, you know, make light of it or try to do something with this. And I think that it's yeah, and I mean, I don't want to like you know go around and just like talk about this, but or like have speeches about this, but you know, if people ask me about it, I'm gonna want to be honest and candid about it. Suicide's not a bad word. You know, we should be able to talk about it. You know, it's not okay. I mean, killing yourself's not okay. However, it should be okay to reach out and be able to tell people that you're having suicidal thoughts. Because if you don't talk about it, you're not able to say it, then we're not going to get help. Because I
Hmm.
think people are afraid because they're like afraid of people going, "Oh my gosh, she's just doing it for attention." It's like I'm not. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was in psychosis. It was actually the complete opposite. I was thinking no one's gonna care. I really did. I
Hmm.
honestly nobody cared about it. Nobody even noticed that Emma was gone. That's absolutely that was not the case at all. That's completely yeah. It was delusional.
One reaction that I had when I heard that you were in the hospital is that it kind of caught me off guard because I had just spoken with you like 2 or 3 days before, and I could tell that you were in a bit of an elevated mood state, but I didn't know that it was going to crash so suddenly.
Yeah, I think it surprised a lot of people, including myself too, because people would be like, "Oh, Polina knows when she needs to take a break," uh, which I do usually. However, it makes sense now. It's just like I was masking a lot, and just lying to myself that I was okay, and I was really ignoring myself and not taking my medications like I should, not talking to people, not getting therapy like I should. Everyone else came before I did. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna write myself a letter right now while I'm clear minded, so that when I do get in this episode again or have another episode, I can have a reminder that I'm gonna write myself, say something to myself, and just be like, "You are in psychosis right now. Your thoughts are delusional. People care. You matter." Like I need to remind myself that.
I think that's a really, really good idea. I think that sounds amazing. Is there any other immediate self-care that you're practicing right now or that you plan on practicing as you continue to recuperate?
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, it feels good to cry. I'm gonna keep crying, letting it out because I was holding a lot of it in, and it takes a toll on your body too physically when you hold in emotions. So I'm gonna keep crying. That's the body's natural way of attempting to regulate our moods because it activates the nervous system when you cry. And I've been doing intentional breathing as well because when I'm stressed, I breathe out through my mouth. I tend to hold my nose, my nostril, my nose through my breath through my nose. So I've been like kind of have longer breaths like
Yeah.
this, and then like sighing a lot. Sighing is a body's fastest way to also regulate itself to bring in more oxygen rather than carbon dioxide when you're breathing through your gesture through your mouth. So yeah, a lot of breathing right now.
Yeah.
Slowing
Regulated
down.
breathing is important. It can be
Hmm.
very helpful for anxiety and stress reduction. Do you have any goals that you're working toward right now? Like anything further in the future, or is your mentality just based in the here and now?
Yeah, I'm trying to be present right now. Like I'm just like, yeah, I need to. My first priority is to get out of this depressive episode. Like my mental health is number one right now, and slowing down. I've been doing a lot of thinking too, and then the next step is to like get active, get back on my feet, start working again. Because I still have to rest my heart. Like I feel like my heart's still like beating fast. Like my heart rate
Hmm.
was high in the hospital. My blood pressure too was like very high. But I'm naturally a very chill person, so I want to get back to that relaxed person. Like yeah, I'm just trying to first priority is getting in remission, and then the second one is to take care of the material things. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna follow that. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That I think so. I'll follow on that chart. That's my goal.
I will post a link to Maslow's hierarchy of needs in the episode description so people can check that out. That's a classic psychology
Mhm.
tool or conceptualization, I guess. And it's very interesting. It states that you have your most basic needs at the bottom of the pyramid, which are like physiological needs like food and water and shelter, and then as you go up to the higher echelons of the pyramid, it is like self actualization and love and belonging and those other psychological needs that we have that make us feel like we're really connected to the world and like we have a purpose and soul and sense of identity.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just that is that bipolar thing. It's like every time you have a really bad episode, I just start back down at the bottom again. It's okay. It's like I think it's part of the illness. It's like I think a lot of people that are listening that have bipolar can understand. It's just like you go back down the bottom again, then you can get back in the top. But it's okay.
It,
You know.
it's
Mhm,
difficult, but it's doable, you know?
mhm.
Like it takes a lot of effort though. And I know you know that. I hope that um people listening know that, yeah, like we don't want to sound like, oh yeah, it's just going to get better, like it'll just get better, because that's not where either of us are, myself or Paulina. So I think that putting in that effort, getting back up to the top of the hill, or at least a place on the hill that feels stable and safe and grounded, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to go into remission and just be stable. I'm just like, I just don't want to be depressed. It's like, this is like, I gotta, the first thing I do is like, I get sun in my eyes. Yeah, a lot of sunshine,
Hmm.
going outside. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if people are looking to find more about you, or want to hear more of your story, how can they find you on social media, and how can they find your podcast?
Yeah, but they can find my podcast. It's I have bipolar, and you can find me on Instagram at I have bipolar podcast. And my email is also the same, is I have bipolar podcast at gmail.com. And then I am on Twitter at Paulina without a U, Palina 444.
Awesome. And I strongly encourage the audience to check that out. You've got some really great content up. And I know right now you're focusing on yourself, of course, but it's also worth mentioning that you're a pretty prolific Twitter space host. And that's how a lot of people may know you as well. So even though you're taking a little bit of a step back from the space hosting, I just wanted to mention that too.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm taking a break right now. I think as a moderator, as a host, I didn't talk about myself. It's like kind of part of the reason why I hosted a lot, so I could avoid, being open.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna take a long break and focus on myself right now, until I return and where I'm healthy enough, where I have extra marbles to go back to being a listener and
I
helping
like
people.
that. I like that. Extra marbles. I hope you find them. You will. I know
Yeah, there might be some hidden underneath this bed. Who knows?
it. Nice. Well, Paulina, thank you so much for coming on to speak with me about all this. I know it's not easy, but you're super awesome. You're so articulate when it comes to talking about these sorts of issues. And I just really appreciate you. You're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, maybe I can come back when I'm back. In remission. We'll see how long this depressive episode lasts. Where I do want to get better. I do want to get better. Like, I can't go down that rabbit hole. I have to get up and do things I don't want to. I don't want to speak. Like, I didn't want to talk today, but I have to. I didn't like it, but I feel better.
Because I forced you to come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, Paulina, thank you again, and definitely stay in touch with us because we love hearing from you.
Right. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. If you want to, yeah, guys, there's help out there. Not every, not every situation is the same. You might, not every hospital is the same, or, people are different. That I think that there's more good people out there. There's people that understand, that won't judge you, and to not be afraid to get help.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for listening to this installment of the show. Paulina was so brave to come on and share her story. I'm really glad that I know people like Paulina who are so fearless and real about themselves. If you've been enjoying Bipolar Recorder, be sure to tell a friend about the show. Paulina is on Twitter at Paulina444, and her podcast is called I Have Bipolar.
I'm on Twitter at HHKeegan. Bipolar Recorder is on Twitter at Bipolar Recorder. My name's Hunter Keegan. Have a safe day, evening, or night wherever you are.
Bipolar Recorder is a listener-supported show. To help keep the show running, consider checking out our Patreon page or visiting bipolarrecorder.com.
Unless otherwise stated, the hosts and guests on Bipolar Recorder are not licensed mental health professionals. Bipolar Recorder is not a substitute for therapy or professional medical intervention. If you are having a mental health crisis, please contact your local emergency services.